Welcome to Drawsh Studio. Today we're going to learn about a group of muscles on your scapula. Let's get started. The scapula group is made up of 3 muscles that sit on the back of the scapula and may be visible depending on the development of the physique. The biggest of the 3 muscles is the infraspinatus, named because it's infra, or below, the spine of the scapula. It originates under the spine of the scapula and moves down, connecting to 2/3 of the scapula. It inserts into the back of the ball from the ball and socket joint of the humerus. The second of these muscles is the small teres minor. It originates at the middle of the outer edge of the scapula and inserts on the back of the humerus just below the ball and socket joint and the infraspinatus. The third of these scapula muscles is the Teres Major. It originates on the bottom third of the scapula and inserts on the inside of the upper quarter of the humerus. The 3 muscles overlay each other, with the infraspinatus being the largest of the 3 and taking up most of the space. The Teres Minor is very small and sits under the other 2 muscles and can only be seen on the surface in rare occasions. The Teres Major is larger than the minor, as the name suggests. It sits on the top of the minor and underneath the infraspinatus, and can be visible from the surface. The Teres Major has a complex relationship with the latissimus. The latissimus hugs the Teres Major as it goes over the bottom of the scapula, but then curves under to insert right above it on the inside of the arm. The back deltoid also sits on the surface of the scapula group, obscuring their shape and hiding the insertions of the infraspinatus and teres minor. The scapula group work in conjunction to rotate the humerus in the ball and socket joint. To understand its movement, we need to pay attention to the medial and lateral epicondyles of the humerus. Since the infraspinatus and teres minor anchor to the scapula and act on the head of the humerus, when they contract, they will rotate or spin the arm laterally or out. Because the teres major anchors to the lower scapula and acts on the inside of the humerus, when it contracts, it will rotate the arm the opposite way, turning it medially or in. Now let's find the scapula group from the surface. The scapula group can be a challenge to identify because from the surface it bears little resemblance to the shapes of the muscles underneath. But finding the scapula is the first step. The dimple here is the acromion process, connecting to the spine of the scapula under the trapezius and down the vertebral border. This large mass here is the biggest of the scapula group muscles, the infraspinatus. It will start higher up than the other muscles and takes up the majority of the scapula. And while we won't see the insertion, it should aim towards the very top of the humerus. This shadow here, showing another mass at the bottom, would be the teres major. While we won't see the insertion, it should aim to the inside of the humerus. We know this is the teres major and not the minor because it's at the bottom of the scapula. And we generally won't see the teres minor as it's small and deeper. If we do see it, it would peek out between the 2 muscles here. And here are the individual names. We can envision the latissimus going over the bottom of the teres major here, but curving under it as it moves away from the body towards its insertion. We can also see the mass of the back deltoid here, covering the insertion of the infraspinatus and teres minor. Even though it appears that the deltoid starts here, it connects all the way back to the spine of the scapula with a flat tendon. Remember all of these points when drawing the scapula group. Analyze the anatomy on the surface of your reference, and draw from observation and memory to help you learn. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to go to drawsh.com for more information on these topics and many more. If you want to see more videos like this, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.